Good evening, everyone, and welcome into round 13 of the 2016 MotoOption Supercross Series, an MX Simulator Professional Gaming Championship presented by Racetech Suspension. Live here on Starter Systems. My name is Kellen Brauer in booth tonight, and we're about to bring you, like I said, round 13 of Supercross in Indy. We are inside of sort of a remake of Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. And so that means we are also back on the East Coast, and you guys will get a taste of the 250 East Supercross Championship getting started again this week after we had basically a 2-week West hiatus because we ran the San Diego makeup race 2 weeks ago, and then obviously Santa Clara last week. And those are both West rounds. So you guys saw the West guys racing. You'll see the 250 East guys back in action tonight. Right now we just got the UID grab and call from Michael Wheeler in the server though. So we'll wait for him to get everything set up. As you've seen from the format running earlier, that we have the 450 class coming up first. Goes 450 heats, 250 heats, 450 semis, 250 last chance qualifier, 450 last chance qualifier, and then tonight's two main events. That will be the running format for the evening, and so we'll see those 450 heats getting started in just a moment. And I want to get a quick check in chat before we get those underway that I am all good on the stream. You guys can hear and see everything. I'm kind of just swiveling the camera back and forth right now to make sure that you guys can see that the camera is still moving and such. Should be all good, but just want to make sure that you guys have all of the information and video that you need for tonight's race in Indy. And I hope you guys are set for some good racing. We should be on air for a little under 2 hours, judging by race times. Last week we were just on over for just over an hour and a half, and that was mostly due to lap times being short, but I'm assuming the lap times will be in the upper 40 range this week. And it may take a little bit longer. Race Carlin also ran a really fast program last week. We got Michael Wheeler back at the helm, and he usually likes to slow things down a little bit. Obviously, the president of Race Factory Gaming knows what he's doing, but he does like to let people have a little bit more time. And so for that, I think we'll be going a little bit longer than we did last week, but we'll have to see how it goes. Thanks in chat, everybody, for letting me know that we are all good and set to go here tonight in Indianapolis. And as I said, those 450 heats should be kicking off in just a moment. We're just waiting for the lineup to be posted in chat. I suppose while we're doing that, we can go ahead and pull up the 450 qualifying results from tonight. And it's none other than the points leader, the big number 2-1 of Tyson Fresquez, who was able to eke out that top spot in qualifying on a 43.9. So as you can see, lap time's a little bit, maybe a second or two more than they were at Santa Clara. Hunter Root second in points right behind him, only 0.2 off. Dade Honeywell, Ryan Mahan, and Ben McLeod rounded out the top 5 on that one. But we are about set to go racing here inside of Indianapolis as I'm trying to jump back into the server. Hopefully this loads in time. Pa-chow. I'm currently looking at a loading screen. You guys are looking at a black screen. And we are waiting for 450 Heat 1 to be set to go. They might already be underway. Let's hope they aren't. It doesn't look like they are yet. Nope. Alright, so we are set to go racing, guys. 450 Heat 1 on the gate. Hunter Root right in the middle of the screen. Looks like we got Seabolt, Crane, Dupuis, Armstrong, Honeywell, Mahan, Burkeen, Heberlein, Carlin, Turley, and a whole host of others as we are off and running in Indianapolis. And it is a good start from the big number 1. Volcom racing machine of Hunter Root as he's going to sneak around and grab that hole shot away from Matt Burkeen, who looks to be in second place on the number 8. He's trying to quad in behind him, nearly lands on him, but it is going to be Root with Burkeen and Dupuis chasing, so all single digits up near the front as actually Dupuis is going to get passed by Luke Heberlein. Dupuis, your 2013 Motorsport.com Outdoor National Champion. Not a very good Supercross rider, but trying to squeak his way right into the main out of this heat race. Already got passed by Luke Heberlein, but he's still in the top 4 as it is Root leading the way from Matt Burkeen here in second. And already we can see these guys are going for that big line in the rhythm, going outside 3-4-3 in the rhythm. That's going to be really tough for those 250 guys to get. I've actually only heard that Connor Linz in the 250 class has gotten it consistently in any shape or form. So big 450 lines, another one right there is the on-off quad, which is much more doable on a 450 this week, and Burkeen making it look easy, trying to run down Hunter Root. Already 2 laps in the books though. Root over the line at the end of lap number 2, maintains about a second lead over the number 8 Tagger Designs machine of Matt Burkeen. This is round 13, and Root coming into tonight only 8 points back of his teammate and 2-time Supercross champion Tyson Fresquez in the points. You may remember earlier in this year, Root was dominating the season, had about a 13-point lead on his teammate. As he slides out with the lead, that's going to give Matt Burkeen a chance to lead this race for a little bit. Root slots back to second. Continuing with my story, Root ended up missing UID grab at Toronto this year, and that was a race that was won by Ryan Mahan, but Tyson Fresquez finished second, assumed the points lead, and then only stretched it out further at the next round in Detroit with a win. As Root's back to the inside of Burkeen, and he makes a nice block pass for the lead. Root able to click off wins in San Diego and Santa Clara has closed that gap back down to 8 points. We still got 5 rounds to go, including this evening, and it could be a good battle as Burkeen now has Heberlein pressuring him from behind. Looks like they've lost Zach Dupuis, who may have gone down, as Jeremy Siebold on the number 10 is up into the number 4 ride. Sanders and Dennis Fjellberg going at it. Fjellberg running the number 10 machine for some reason. That's Siebold's old race bike. And Fjellberg all over the back of Zach Dupuis, who just got going. So these guys are outside of transfer. It is currently Siebold who is in transfer. Heberlein, Burkeen, and Root obviously also in transfers. They are ahead of Siebold. 6 laps, top 4 go to the main. All other runners go to the semi. Working lap number 5 of 6. Best battle on the track right now seems to be this battle for second, as Heberlein is still trying to give Matt Burkeen some fits. We got a slide out. Hunter Root got stood up in the corner, and Heberlein gets to the inside of Burkeen, makes a nice move up into that number 2 ride. Now can he put it together and go run down Hunter Root? I like the different lines being used in that rhythm section. Burkeen with the on-off quad single, Heberlein opting to go over and then 3-3 as they're trying to get around Doug Oakley. White flag in the air this time by 3-rider battle up front for the lead here in 450 heat number 1. And it's Root leading the way. Already in the lap traffic here. He almost gets hit by Connor Holiak there. Or, I'm sorry, that was Tyler Lewis, not Connor Holiak. Heberlein able to squeak by, and Siebold's now up into the number 3 ride, so Burkeen has gone backwards, and these Sanders and Fjellberg still going at it. But Root, he's into the side of Michael Wheeler, who's down on the whoops with Zach Dupuis. That's going to hand Luke Heberlein the heat race victory, and Root is still down, and now Dennis Fjellberg rolls through. He's gone down. Where is second place? What has happened? Root still gets up and finishes second. Siebold third. And Fjellberg is just going to get beat to the line by Matt Burkeen. Utter chaos as Sanders and Fjellberg trying to get through. Mahan ends up in the 7th spot. Bergeron upside down in the berm in 8th as actually Turley's going to get by him. Wow. And Crane over the line in 10th. Carlin. Reed Young, somehow Zach Dupuis ended up way back there. It looked like he had gotten together with Michael Wheeler in the whoops. Michael Wheeler, although he's a great race host, has never been very good at being a lapper. In fact, in my experience with him, one of the worst lappers on the track, unfortunately, but obviously not much he could do there. He just got out of shape in the whoops and took Hunter Root with him. But Root's still going to transfer to the main out of this one in a 2nd place position. The Heat 1 win goes to Luke Heberlein. Question in chat, whatever happened to Mike Owen, the 2012 250 West Coast Supercross champion and 2012 250 Outdoor National champion? He has gone, well, he went to university in Australia, his home country, and he kind of disappeared off the map. He plays a lot of Counter-Strike now. I was actually really close to him for a while, but suddenly he hasn't been talking to myself or Zach Dupuis, who were both pretty close to him. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but he's alive. He's doing something. We're just not sure what. As we are off and running for heat number 2 here. A terrible start for the 81 of Adam Holm, but it's a good start for Tyson Fresquez until he beelines off the track. That's going to put him way back in the pack. Or will it, as everybody went down on the inside? Actually, it's not going to come out so bad as long as he can avoid oh, no, he gets hit by Adam Holm, and there's just an absolute pileup of riders, including Jesse Mullins and Jeremy Smith of the TBR team in that corner. And it's actually Dade Honeywell on the 17, the third fastest qualifier with the early race lead. He's got the big old deuce, Byron Downen, 2014 Supercross champion, right behind him. Downen looked very impressive last week in his return to MotoOption Supercross at Santa Clara, coming home with a second place. Really giving Root a run for his money in that main event. Never got close enough to do anything about it, but really never lost a trail of the defending champion either. Got a rider stuck in the Doblos bales. Those versus-pc.com Doblos bales have claimed a victim. Looked like it may have been one of the Mad Cape riders, but we'll have to go back and take a look. Maybe William St. Laurent, as I'm looking across the top of my screen there. So Honeywell, Downen, and Whelan sprinting away from the field, and it is 250 Supercross at San Diego winner Clement Lana, who finds himself up in the number 4 spot. Top 4 transfer, and he's in that spot. Jeremy Smith is trying to get into that position. Donovan has Jack Haley behind him. Remember, Jeremy Smith earlier on in this season broke his wrist in real life, training for in real life Supercross, and had to play with a joystick. Actually made the main on a single joystick, playing with one arm at Daytona this year. But he's back in full form now. Has got his cast off his arm and able to play this game with both hands. He's trying to fight his way into tonight's main event out of this heat race. It's a good point. Critical for Days and Chat just brought up that Tyson Fresquez is not running his red plate bike. And here is the number 21 of Tyson Fresquez back in 7th. Right behind Jack Haley. He's not running the red plate bike. Not sure if he knows that or not. These guys do, and by these guys I mean Hunter Root and Tyson Fresquez of the Team Volcom team. They do race the EMF Supercross Championship pretty much every week to my knowledge. And that is run earlier on in the day, about 5 hours ago actually. And they may just have forgotten to change their numbers back. I'm not sure who the points leader is in that series. Oh, and Whelan, who was up in a transfer spot, has gone backwards. He's now behind Fresquez. So Fresquez could eke his way into transfer. We had a battle for the lead though, and it's a good one. Downen is reeling in Dade Honeywell, and again, those two different lines. Looks like Honeywell actually may have gotten through a little bit quicker with the on-off quad, but Downen going 3-3-3 in that first rhythm. White flag in the air. Ooh, good job by both riders to squeak by the downed rider there. So Honeywell trying to make it a split-fire sweep of these heat races, as it was his teammate Heberlein with the win in heat number 1, but Downen is trying to give him a run at it here. Let's actually go on board with the number 2 as he goes down into turn 1 here. He's really pushing a 46 dead last time by. He's going to go over 3 and 3 out, staying pretty low, and he's close. Let's see if he tries this jump line through the whoops, gets a drive, sends it into the third whoop, and it's not going to work. Oh, maybe it will. Oh, Honeywell is into the... Oh, who gets the win? Honeywell gets put over the line to take the win, and then more riders coming over the line, but those are lappers. Downen still trying to get going as Lana comes home second, down in third, and Jeremy Smith is fortunate that Jack Haley went down because he's going to get fourth, no problem here, and Fresquez is definitely taking a trip to the semi with how far back he's finishing, unless Jeremy Smith has substantial cuts. 11 seconds back Tyson Fresquez going to the semi. Russell Cruza running incorrect naming convention. Bryce Whelan, Craig Leake, Jack Haley, Michael Gonzalez. Adam Holm just came in backwards. Izzy Mullins is also out looking in. There's Holm, who came across the finish line backwards for some reason. He's riding the track backwards too. And if you're watching the stream playback right now, you may have just heard a little blip. That was the stream crashing for a moment. And we're back. Let me just let everybody know that they just can refresh their browsers and they should be good to go. Again, any of you that are joining us here for either your first time or perhaps your manyth time but haven't been opening your ear holes, if you're watching this stream live right now, all of it is being recorded simultaneously as the live broadcast is going, which means that you will not miss a single bit of the action watched back on YouTube later. We upload these streams back on YouTube for the following day. So this will be out tomorrow, roughly noon Pacific. And you can catch all the action that you may have missed last night. And I apologize for when the stream crashes. Hopefully we will have that fixed sometime soon when internet doesn't take a poop. But right now, it's back to the 250 East as we are underway for 250 East Heat 1. And it's a drag race, 257 on the outside. Alex Carlo gets put on the ground, so nobody wants to get the whole shot. And still nobody wants to get the whole shot. It's Jesse Calloway on the Motorcycle Superstore team that comes away with it. And Medina, who had gotten shuffled back down the start straight, actually comes out in second on the 84 TMFactoryRacing.com ride. Clint Martin in third, looking for a team apparently. Jack Fowler, Edward Mora, Andre Santos, Colton Mitchell, Quentin Deese, Owen Hillman, Jeremy Kohenauer, Alex Carlo, Brian Berg, Maxime Vanderbeek, Peter Leik, Troy Jackson, Walter Gebhardt, Ben Seberg, Kevin from Zaka, Tanner Rogers, Daniel Batchlet, and I'm on the gate in warm-up mode. Oh, and Medina looks like he had gotten the lead but then went down, and we got a cluster pile up right there. And nobody knows who's going to come out the lead yet, especially when Andre Santos just cut the track hard. Looks like he's trying to give some spots back, though. Gonna get some cuts from that for sure. Oh, Santos looking inside, but it's Mora leading the way on the 46 Verve Moto ride. Andre Santos, Jack Fowler, Quentin Deese. Look at this train of riders. Clint Martin, Colt Mitchell in there. Ivan Medina just off the back on the 84. This is your top 7, basically in a freight train out front, and Santos goes to the lead. The rider out of Portugal for that EMC Concept Graph team. Takes over the lead from the 46 of Edward Mora. So this train is actually broken up a little bit at the front, but it's still a raging battle here between Fowler, Mitchell, Martin, and Medina. That's 3 through 7. It's 4 through 7, sorry. Did my math wrong there. They've got Owen Hillman trying to catch up. You can see that this ART Reflex Designs team is running some retro Suzukis tonight, which I dig it. Indy Supercross this year is the retro-themed Supercross, and every rider that was in that train is down in this rhythm section. Quentin Deese trying to get going backwards over the Supercross triple. Jack Fowler just getting up. Edward Mora, Ivan Medina, and Clint Martin were all down, so Hillman jumps from 8th, I think he was, to 2nd. Again, you are watching 250 East, heat number 1 circulating right now. Top 9 transfer from this 6-lap heat race. And we are on lap 5 of 6, as you can see in the top right-hand corner of your screen what lap we are on and the flag that is being shown. When the white flag is being displayed, that will be a white flag color behind that lap counter. And then checkers, when those are out, you'll also see the results being posted down the left side of your screen, but the checker flag will also be displayed at the top right hand of the screen. And right now, Andre Santos, he's got his checkbook and he's paying for dinner. He's checked out of this place. White flag in the air. Hillman basically 2 straightaways behind him. Clint Martin in 3rd. Edward Mora has drifted back to 4th after that crash. Jack Fowler, Ivan Medina in 6th. Colton Mitchell 7th. Carlo 8th. And Callaway running in 9th. Gebhardt trying to put on a charge to make the main here. What happened to Hinners is the question in chat. Well, I know Hinners did a fantastic job filling in for me while I was on vacation 2 weeks ago, so that was the last that I've really had any good conversation with the guy. He's very tied up with work lately. He's been working at a new gym. He's trying to get his personal trainer's license. So all the credit to him. And this battle is intense as Carlos slides out and he's going to lose that transfer. Andre Santos is the winner here in Heat 1. Martin 2nd, Mora 3rd, Medina 4th, Hillman 5th, Mitchell 6th, Callaway 7th, Fowler 8th, and Gebhardt is 9th. Carlo wants it back, and Gebhardt's going to the inside of Fowler. Doesn't need the spot, but he's going to put them both down. And then Alex Carlo crashes all by himself trying to get around them, and Quentin Deese is going to get through for 8th. And Jack Fowler his game has crashed or something in the 9 spot, so it's actually Carlo who's going to come across in the 9th and final transfer spot. Gebhardt gets 10th. Vanderbeek in 11th. Rogers, Like, Batchlett, Seaberg all missing out for Zach. I'm assuming Jack Fowler's game crashed. Yeah, game crash is the... Yeah, I don't know. That was definitely a very, very dumb move by Walter Gebhardt, but I'm afraid we're not surprised. That's what we would come to expect from Walter Gebhardt. He did not need that spot for the transfer. If he had just checked up and let Fowler get into the corner, they probably both would have made it no problem, because Carlo was a little ways back, and he ended up coming in there and sliding out and crashing all by himself. So Carlo got up first, though, made the main in 9th, as I'm looking at the results on the left side of the screen. But yeah, so it's an interesting way for things to go down. Anywho, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 250 qualifying results right now on your screen. And we've seen Edward Mora also going so far tonight, but we have yet to see Connor Linz, nor have we seen points leader. I'm trying to find him. Points leader Tyler Schmidt was 22nd fastest in qualifying, although he was only about a second and a half off of the top qualifiers, so he wasn't that far behind. But it was Linz at the top of the board, and we're about to find out how he does as 250 Heat 2 is on the line, and we are set to go racing. You can see the 94 machine on the left side of your screen. That's points leader Tyler Schmidt as we are underway for 250 Heat 2 action. And it's a good start from Schmidt and the 92 machine of Dylan Copeland. But Daniel Mills plays it smart, touch to the inside. Almost gets a hole shot, but it's going to be Gunnar Fugler on the 641 who comes out on that Motorcycle Superstore machine with the hole shot. Daniel Mills slots back into the number 2 ride. Then we got Chase Blakely, Nick Usick, and Dominic Saulnier getting out of shape in the whoops. Dylan Copeland, Fred Heather, Josh Betts up in the mix. Chase McDonald, Robert Wilson. Tyler Schmidt got a little bit out of shape going into turn 1, but it looks like he did not fall. He just lost a big chunk of time. He's back in about 12th right now over the line on lap number 1. Connor Peavy just got landed on by Ryan Spangler, and that held up Corbin Lenaway. A couple riders also in the mix. Craig Richards, rider out of Australia, in there. Back up front, still Fugler. D. Mills right there in 2nd. Chase Blakely getting all kinds of pressure from that Star Racing Yamaha machine of Nick Usick. Oh, big mistake from D. Mills. He stands it up in the corner, and Chase Blakely able to fend off the attack there from Nick Usick, who had gone to the inside. And we've got Dominic Saulnier getting whipped out over the finish line trying to jump over Usick. Makes a little mistake in the next corner. Look at him, he's all over the place right now with these whips. Josh Betts up in a transfer spot. Oh, we got riders down everywhere back here. Tyler Schmidt's careening around the outside as Craig Richards gets up and punts Fred Heather. And that didn't seem to help either rider out, as Richards still stuck here on this wall. I'm not sure what Richards was trying to do there, but it didn't help either of those guys out. Chaos everywhere, I know. Oh, another rider down. That's a 199 to Chase McDonald. As, oh man, Ryan Spangler just threw it dirty, but it didn't help him at all. As Connor Lynn's still able to get to the inside. And Connor Lynn's on that new Versus PC factory racing machine this week. We have been seeing Lynn's ride for the Premium Motorsports team this year. Took a week off after Toronto. Guess he regrouped his thoughts. DNF'd the main event in Toronto and then did not race Detroit. Looks like he may have been just notching a new deal, as they say, with this Versus PC team. Good to see the guys at Versus PC stepping up and sponsoring a race team. They're also doing a great job with the RaceFactoryGaming.com Triple Crown and the prizing for the Supercross series. But the Triple Crown, round 2 of that Triple Crown coming up in Boston in 2 weeks' time. Or 3 weeks, I apologize. Oh, Schmidt out of shape, cuts the bails, but he still gets the pass done for now on Monty Wilson, Robert Wilson, his real name, but everybody knows him as Monty. Oh, nose heavy. So all these guys looking pretty in transfer right now as Fugler continues to lead the way. He just made an absolute dog's dinner of that first rhythm section. It doesn't look like Dominic Saulnier did it any better, though, as Chase Blakely is trying to get around him for second. Saulnier out of shape in the whoops. Good save, though. Let's go on board with the number 76 Blakely powder coating machine. Damn near won the main event. Oh, in Toronto, he's going to get around Saulnier, who just high-sided, getting going right now. Blakely nearly won the main event up in Toronto. Oh, Schmidt trying to get to the inside of D-Mills. Wilson, Betts, Usyk back here. This is the battle for sixth, with Wilson heading the way. Usyk doesn't need to get by Josh Betts. They're both well endowed in a transfer spot right now. Connor Peavy, also in transfer. He's trying to hold off Fred Heathers. We actually have results. I forgot we were on the last lap. Blakely takes the win as Fugler falls apart on the last lap. Saulnier, Schmidt, Mills top 5, Wilson, Betts, and Usyk should be good to go. Peavy's just got to get through this final corner clean. Heathers not close enough. It could come down to cuts as Peavy for now solidifies his spot into the main event, but only by 0.7 seconds, so that could be close. Richards, the very fast Australian rider, punting Fred Heather comes back to bite him. He's going to miss the main event, have to go to the LCQ. Connor Lynn's your fastest qualifier, also not making it. Neither will Corbin Lenaway, Ryan Spangler, Brady Ginter, Chase McDonald, Dylan Copeland, Phil Bull, Josh Williams, Andrew Wood, or myself sitting in warm-up mode on the gate. So we will wait for cuts to come in, and then we will feed those results back to you in just a moment. And it is confirmed, Connor Peavy makes the main event. No cuts for either rider, actually. Got a request in chat, by the way, to take a look at my first-person settings, and I will quickly do that right now. Here's my graphics and sound setup. First-person height at 0.81, first-person angle at 20 with a field of view of 110. That is what I run first-person, but I never play first-person. So, not much going on there. I'm going to move this cursor out of my way. There we go. We're off and running in 450 Semi 1, by the way. That is what you are watching on your screen as the riders race down into turn 1. Long start straight, and it was nearly Doug Oakley who took the whole shot, but tucked the front end. And Reed Young, side by side with Spencer Turley, are the two that come out leading this thing. Turley going to take the lead away, coming out of turn 2. And through the whoops they go. Al's454, are you asking to do a start in that camera view angle up in the upper corner of the stadium where we're just at a stationary cam? Because I can certainly do that in the next semi if you wish. I'm not sure what you're asking though. Alright, Devin Davis coming out in chat right now. D Davis 410 in chat. Get at him. Or I guess it's just Davis 410. Spencer Turley still leading. Shipley challenging Tyler Lewis, that looks to be in second. So I was wrong, that was not Tyler Lewis that was in that 250 race. Oh! As he puts the good old squeeze on Shipley. Fjellberg down the inside. Oh! Wow, man. Fjellberg just seemingly can't buy a break lately, and Shipley cuts across the track and takes them both down. I'm sure Fjellberg's not going to be too happy about this as he cuts across the track. Oh, and he gets whipped out right next to Doug Oakley. Fjellberg has just been pissed not to make the main lately. Oh, and Oakley cleans out Fjellberg. I'm not sure what Oakley was thinking right there. I talked to Fjellberg, though, after last week's performance in which he missed the main event as Doug Oakley's coming into your living room right there. And he was very, very frustrated, said that he's going to give up the game, but we've heard Fjellberg say that before. Just basically not getting any luck lately, and I can tell, judging by that mistake that Shipley made there, and there's no reason that Shipley should have gone in for the corner the way that he did, but he got a little out of shape, I think, and it also contributed to that. Fjellberg had the line, Shipley just trying to do something that really wasn't there. So Turley still leads the way. Russell Cruza is still incorrect naming convention. He's going to get a warning unless he fixes that. All right, he's off the track right now, so Lewis moves up into second. Shipley right behind him in third, and Cruza gets up right in front of Fjellberg, so both of these guys are in transfer spot. Fjellberg just needs to relax, not do anything stupid. It looks like he's trying, to do just that. Whoa. Oh, and he goes down. Just when I say he's relaxed and not doing anything stupid, he does something stupid. But I think he was pretty relaxed, to be fair. White flag in the air, though, this time by. Turley running away with this thing. Looking awfully smooth. Turley's definitely should be up for the award if there was one of most improved, I think, from last year. He only scored, I think, 1 point, if I'm not mistaken, in a Supercross race last year. He's been phenomenal on the 250 West class this year. Moves up to the 450 class on the East Coast and has been riding really, really well. He's going to take this semi number uno win with ease here. Shipley should be good to go. Lewis has got Russell Cruza right behind him, but they're well ahead of Williams St. Laurent, so there's no need to push it. Adam Holm and Fjellberg are pushing to the end, though. Laurent's just got to ease it into this corner, a little out of shape. But he is going to make it into the main event. Holm, Fjellberg out, Leak, Doug Oakley going for something that was not really worth it. And Leak gets 8th, LaRoche 9th, Oakley 10th, Bergeron 11th, Reed Young 12th, Devin Ryan 13th, Tyler Morin also back there. Cuts are in, and Cruza lost or gained a spot on Tyler Lewis. It is confirmed that St. Laurent does make the main event. Still not sure, OWS454, what you're asking for in that cam. I'm just going to assume that you meant that camera that's up in the corner of the stadium. And so I certainly can just leave it up here as we watch a start from up here. There's a semi, so, you know. All right, looks like, according to chat, James Armstrong's game crashed is what I'm assuming James means. We have a couple different James. We also have a Matt James, but Matt James doesn't race usually very much anymore. Bar down and going with the everybody on Mad Cape gets mad on 3. And gate hasn't dropped yet. We're waiting to see. All right, here we go. We're racing at the moment. Aw, damn it. I don't want that to happen. Why did that do that? That's... Oh, because it probably switched to me. All right, so anyway, we're off and running. Tyson Fresquez is leading the way. Not sure we're going to get a restart here for James Armstrong. I know in the past when people's games have crashed, Michael Wheeler has not gone to the rescue for them. So I guess this will be no different for James Armstrong in this semi. So Fresquez should have no problems in bringing this thing home for a semi-win from this point, as he's got Bryce Whelan behind him. Ryan Mahan finds himself in a tough spot in the semi here. Not where he wants to be, but he's trying. Tyler Crane, Jesse Mullins, Blake Scheinman, Michael Wheeler is racing, so clearly no restart now for the 733 of James Armstrong in this one. Whelan and Scheinman were down. Jack Haley and Chase Donovan back here, Race Carlin, August Sanders, and Zach Dupuis. So those guys all having a tough go of it so far, but Fresquez looking nice and clean with the big old red plated number 21 and that nice looking red helmet to complement it. Fresquez and then Crane and Mullins. Mullins honestly one of the newer sim riders still. I know that's hard to believe. But Mullins really caught fire at the end of 2013 is when he started getting real quick. Has the nickname Lotso Laps because he used to race EMF all the time in 2013 and was known for putting in the most laps of any rider during the week. And that was when EMF used to count how many qualifying laps you would run during the week. I bet a lot of you are thankful Race Factor Gaming doesn't do that, or else a lot of you guys would look like you have no lives. So Fresquez, Mullins, Crane, Mahan, and Wheeler are in the transfer spot. So Michael Wheeler is trying to make his first main event of the season on the number 75 FAMMX ride. President of RaceFactorGaming.com. And of course your week-to-week race host. Everybody looks to be pretty well far and away. Wheels actually has a good lead over Bryce Whelan. Carlin outside looking in, Dupuis as well. Hoffman, Donovan, Sanders, Scheinman, Haley, Dago Adamo, and James Armstrong in his game crash. We're going to go back up front though, as Tyson Fresquez, as I said, walks away with this one, takes a semi number 2 victory. Jesse Mullins gonna punch his ticket to the main event tonight with a second, so the defending outdoor national champion is in. Tyler Crane, Ryan Mahan, and Michael Wheeler is going to his first main event of 2016. How about that for Wheels? All that hard work he puts in to run the races, and he's going to get himself into tonight's main event. Good on ya. Whelan, Carlin, Dupuis, Hoffman, Donovan, Sanders, Haley, all missing out. Going to be a pretty stacked LCQ from my point of view here. And there is the track builder, Blake Scheinman. Unfortunately having a rough go of it. Raced the 250 class last week in Santa Clara. Another track that Blake built the track this week, and he's on a 450. So Switching coasts, switching bikes. Looks like we are only waiting on Dago Adama to be kicked, and there we go. Cuts are in, and Wheels is confirmed as making it, as is Mahan, Crane, Mullins, and Fresquez. So the top 4 in this semi were actually all previous race winners. Fresquez, the winningest racer in Supercross history, at 21 career victories. Mullins, I believe, has 3 or 4 wins to his name. Crane, a lone win, and Mahan 2 this year. It's LCQ time though, folks, and boy oh boy do we have a good one on hand for you tonight. A lot of talented riders are in this one, including your fastest qualifier, the number 31 of Connor Lins, just to the right of the blazing pink rider of Tanner Rogers. That 31 machine needs a good start, and he gets a little bit of a hop going off the gate. Let's see how it works. He's in a good spot, but Peter Leicht is in a better one, and they collect each other. That is not good for Connor Lins out of turn 1, although a bunch of riders just went down, and Daniel Batchelor comes out with the lead. Tanner Rogers, Cohenauer, Copeland, Spangler already outside looking in, but the top 5 have broken away. Lins is in 6th. So we had talked about Lins not racing in Detroit. Seemingly he'd given up his opportunity to win this championship. Oh, and Lins gets by Rogers, so Rogers, who had won the Supercross in Toronto, also not in a good position right now either. I believe he's actually really close in the point standings, there or thereabout. Well, he's up. Yeah, actually, you know what? He missed the first 2 rounds of the year, so he's probably not as close as I think. Oh, and then Spangler drops it. So that should give Connor Lins a transfer spot. Batchelor, Cohenauer, Copeland, and now Lins. This is actually going to be a really good fight. I'll bring up the 250 standings before the 250 main event tonight. Wow, Lins just cut Bales to make the pass on Dylan Copeland. Had he taken Copeland down, he would definitely be subject to penalty. He's also in line for perhaps a warning because he did not relinquish that spot back. Lins has got to be smarter with his racing. I know he's trying to get into the main event. And usually we say anything goes, but never does track cutting go when you're out here in Race Factory Gaming competition. By anything goes, we usually mean T-bone the guy if you want to make the main event, not cut the track. So white flag in the air this time by Batchelor, looking good out front. A little case of the finish line there, but still looking good. Cohenauer and Lins. Just to clarify, I think Lins should have given the spot back, but that's just my opinion. You can either like it or you can lump it. And there is Lins nailing that triple quad triple line. And we got Copeland down, so that allows Rogers through into the final transfer spot. Copeland may have just blown his opportunity. A-Wood not in a spot to do anything. Rogers can cruise. Here's Lins to the inside of Cohenauer, so he's going to get by for second. Daniel Batchelor takes the win in the LCQ. Lins going to the main in second. Cohenauer in third. Rogers in fourth, no problem. Copeland going to miss out. Yeah, I'm going to take shit for telling you guys that Connor Lins should have given the spot back, but this man on your screen right here, Andrew Wood, got suspended for a week of racing for basically clipping a bale and taking Dennis Fjellberg out for position in the main event at Atlanta. So that's part of the rules, folks. You cut the bales, you're subject to penalty. And really, I mean, to be honest, Lins cut a good portion of that corner. We'll go ahead, go over there where I'm talking about. Top 4 are confirmed. Lins in this corner basically landed to the left of the second race tech bale and went through about the half of the MotoOption bale to make a pass. I don't know. I think that's kind of crappy. I would give the spot back, but It is what it is. We'll see what happens. I'm sure Dylan Copeland, who did not make the main event, won't be too thrilled about it. What are we doing? There we go. 450 LCQ underway. A lot of heavy hitters in this one, so we could be in for a good one. It's 313 of Whelan, who looks like he has the spot. Oh, Dupuis trying to get to the inside, may have gotten it, and then Whelan cross jumps like a nubbin, takes Zach Dupuis down. That's just the nature of inexperience in the 450 class. Don't know what to do with your hands and hit the first jump and get all cockeyed and go sideways across the track. Craig Leak comes out the lead. Adam Holm, Race Carlin actually just did a little hopping in the bales himself, but was a little less aggressive than Linz in that one. That's a tough spot, though, to be fair to Linz, jumping across that corner like that, because they are jumping from the far inside of that triple and really just hoping they get over that triple, not really judging too much of where they're going. So, you know, like I said, it could have been an honest mistake. I'm sure it was. But in that situation, I think giving the spot back, whether it's LCQ or not, if Linz is fast enough, he can get Copeland in a safe spot somewhere else on the track. Right now it's Leak, Carlin, Haley, and Oakley off the track doing some sort of voodoo stuff. Gets passed by Sanders, back to the inside Sanders, and then Oakley lays it over in front of him. Battle for the final transfer spot on your screen. Oh, and they almost make contact, and they do make contact. Sanders clips Oakley in the air. Here comes Whelan. Almost lands on Oakley. Holm trying to work his way in. Unfortunate for Dupuis, who had a beautiful start, got it all taken away by Bryce Whelan. It looks like he's not going to make the main event tonight, down in 11th. White flag is in the air for Craig Leak. Race Carlin is running him down, though. Don't know why people still think I lag, because I don't. But, you know, whatever. Man, Carlin is giving Leak a run for his money here. Oh, and Leak makes a huge mistake and goes down. Carlin comes out of the corner and just runs right into him. I don't think he realized that Leak had gone down so hard. And that is Jack Haley taking over the lead. So Jack Haley is going to win this last chance qualifier. And fortunately, Leak able to get up still in second, Carlin third, and Sanders is going to the main, the Colonel in fourth. Whelan, that huge mistake at the beginning does cost him a chance at the main event, as it did for Zach Dupuis. Adam Holm not going either. James Armstrong, who missed the semi because his game crashed, also not going. Bergeron, Reed Young, Dennis Fjellberg. So Fjellberg again, still just utter frustration. Look at, he's going after Doug Oakley, and he kind of has a right to. I mean, Doug Oakley really gave him a hard one in the heat race for almost no reason. It was a position that was not a transfer spot. Zach Dupuis getting roughed around right now. Doug Oakley back onto the track. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you, racing Doug Oakley was not a fun experience in my days, but to each his own. So we are done and complete here with the last chance qualifier action. Haley actually got a chunk of cuts, ends up third, but Sanders, Haley, Carlin, and Leak still going to the main event out of this one. And next up is the 250 main event, which I'll bring up the 250 standings right now on your screen. Only 2 points separates the top three: Schmidt, Richards, Blakely. And if I remember correctly, Craig Richards did not make the main event tonight. Could be wrong. But that's the top three in the standings, all on top of each other after Tyler Schmidt missed the main event in Detroit. Quentin Dees, Colton Mitchell rounded out the top five. They're only 10 and 20 points back respectively, so this could actually get really interesting here in the latter half of this championship. 5 rounds to go. This is just a warm-up lap though right now, so we'll go ahead and take a look at the aerial cam above the stadium here. All right, it's time to go racing. I want to take a look at Tyler Schmidt. 250 East, it's back underway after a 3-week break. It's time to go racing right here in Indianapolis. Gate is down, and it is a good start for Schmidt. He's trying to outdrag Saulnier into turn 1, and he's going to do it, but he's going to run way wide in doing so. That's okay. Saulnier slipped down. It's Daniel Mills on the 45 with the hole shot, but Schmidt's trying to fight him with it, and Mills comes out with the lead. Schmidt drops back to about 4th. Mills leads the way here on the 45. Mora over the line in 2nd, Usyk in 3rd. There is the 94 Schmidt right there in 4th. Oh, Usyk off the track. Schmidt nearly followed him off. Schmidt's going inside here. He's doing a completely different line, and here comes Robert Wilson trying to quad triple his way through. He gets by Rogers, and then Rogers puts him on the deck. Lynn's around the outside trying to get back in here. Jesse Calloway, Ivan Medina. Oh, Rogers squeaks through a couple riders down. Usyk was one of those guys. Let's go ahead and take a look. See if we can find Chase Blakely. Here he is. Back in about 14th. 15th by my guess, maybe? No, he's even worse than that. Find Josh Betzel, he's in 15th. He's going to get 2 spots there. And Schmidt's down in the corner. There's Schmidt, stood up in the corner on the 94. A couple other riders are in there. So Schmidt had it all going for him, but now he's going backwards. Oh my gosh, look at the chaos. Blakely and Schmidt both stood up in this corner, and I think I'm right in saying that there is no Craig Richards in this main event. I'll have to double check. Of course, watch the running order across the top of your screen. I'm going to do a quick double check right now. Yep, no Craig Richards. And here it is, finally. Connor Linz is leading a main event. Straight out of the last chance qualifier. He's trying to win the Jeremy McGrath $10,000 DC Shoes Award, which in real life, if you come through the last chance qualifier and go on to win the main event, you get 10 grand from DC Shoes. We don't have that on offer here, unfortunately, but Lynn's still trying to do the same exact achievement. And ladies and gentlemen, he has the speed to do it. Morris sits 2nd. Mills has slid back to 3rd. Callaway is in 4th. Quentin Dees in 5th. Robert Wilson, Tanner Rogers, Nick Usyk, Andre Santos, Clint Martin, Ivan Medina, Tyler Schmidt, Gunnar Fugler, Colton Mitchell, Alex Carlo, Jeremy Cohenauer, Owen Hillman, Josh Betts, Connor Peavy, Dominic Saulnier, Daniel Batchelor. Chase Blakely is in dead last, and he is way back in dead last. He's like 10 seconds. He's in 22nd, about 10 seconds behind 21st. This is not good for the man. 3rd in the championship coming into this one. With 2nd place not on the gate in this main event. He was hoping that as long as he could beat Tyler Schmidt, maybe he'd have a chance to take over the points lead, but it is going all awry for him right now. Whoa, oh, Quentin Dees Puts Daniel Mills on the deck as Linz is absolutely checking out. Already a whole straightaway ahead of these guys. Deese putting on a charge though. Deese was your winner in Detroit 3 weeks ago, the last time these guys raced. That actually moved him up to 4th. Oh, in the championship, but he just yard sails off the side of the track. Completely missed the landing, and you just saw him face into the deck. And he's going to get up behind Tanner Rogers, but ahead of Daniel Mills, so it looks like he's still in the 5th spot. Makes a big mistake there, though. So Mills actually going to close in a little bit more. Santos, Medina, and Schmidt locked in a battle here. This is 7th, 8th, and 9th, I believe, on your screen. Chase Blakely is still in 22nd. He actually may already be a lap down, judging by my peripheral vision right there. I just think I saw him flash across the top of the screen, and he's behind Connor Linz. Tyler Schmidt clips the bails, makes a couple mistakes. So yeah, Linz still just ever so slightly inching away from Mora out front. Callaway sits in the number 2 spot, Rogers 3rd, or that's, sorry, 4th is Rogers, Callaway is in 3rd, Deese in 5th, Mills 6th, Medina 7th, Santos 8th, and Colton Mitchell around the outside of Schmidt tries to get it done, but Schmidt says, no, that's okay. I want to put you on the ground instead. Of course, Schmidt has every right to do that. Mitchell is still a contender in this championship, despite having a rough go the last 2 weeks of action that we've been racing. For 9th place on lap 8, I don't know, a little aggressive. Right now, I'm not seeing anybody stick out to me other than Quentin Deese that is really wanting to be a contender for this championship right now. Tyler Schmidt not really fighting his way forward at the moment. If it wasn't for Tanner Rogers missing the first 2 main events of the year, he might be contending. But he's a little ways back from these guys. Oh, and Dominic Saulnier just goes down. And Rogers, oh, I thought he was going to try to get to the inside of Deese there. Wow, look at Lynn's lead, though. Just clicking off laps. About to go on to lap 10 of 15. And I suppose I was wrong about the length of the program tonight because, man, we are going fast. Lap 10 of 15 in the 250 main event. We're not even an hour into the night show. One of the better rides for Mora this season. Holding down 2nd. Deese is about to have some serious pressure. Oh, and we got a rider down. That's a couple lappers. Carlo, Wilson, and Usyk got caught up. Fortunately, looks like they did not impede Rogers or Deese in any shape or form. Oh, Rogers off the track. Rejoins safely. Didn't seem to gain any time, so that's good on him. Here's Callaway having the best ride of his season in 4th right now. A Motorcycle Superstore team. It's got Andre Santos, EMC rider. In fact, while I'm on it, why don't we do a Race Tech Top 10 rundown here in this 250 main event. Race Tech Suspension, racetech.com. If you need suspension or parts for your engines, head over to Race Tech. They got you guys covered. Bringing you tonight's top 10 main event rundown here on lap 11 of 15 in the 250 East main event. It is the 31 versus PC Factory Racing rider Connor Linz leading the way over Vert Moto's Edward Mora in 2nd. 1110 Mods Quentin Deese sits in 3rd versus PC Factory Racing rider Tanner Rogers is 4th. Motorcycle Superstore Jesse Callaway sits in the 5th spot, and it was Daniel Mills who was in that spot in 6th, but it's Splitfire's own Colton Mitchell who is in 6th now. Ivan Medina on the TM Factory Racing ride is in 7th. Andre Santos drifts back to 8th on the EMC Concept Graph Machine. 9th is Jeremy Kohenauer on the Prospect Designs ride. And 10th is your points leader, and TBR manned machine of the 94, Tyler Schmidt. That has been the Race Tech Top 10 rundown for the 250 East main event at Indy. Back up front, still Linz leading the way. He's got about a 15-second lead. And you can see Chase Blakely is still in 17th. You can see actually Blakely is right there behind Mora, a lap down. Not what Blakely wanted tonight at all. Dees has actually gotten away here from Tanner Rogers. There's Gunnar Fugler, who is also a lap down. Fugler is really pushing Quentin Dees here. Fugler looks like he's going to try to pass Quentin Dees as a lapper. Oh, makes a mistake, goes off the track, so that is negated now. So we'll give you an update on the points. Right now, as Morris sits second, Dees is in third. He'll pick up 20 points tonight. And he was only 10 down in the championship. Go back and see Tyler Schmidt. Looks like he's moved up to the 8th spot. And he has, if I'm not mistaken, 8th will pick him up 13 points. So he should still have at least 3 points over Quentin Dees in his championship. And obviously 2 or more points over Chase Blakely, who's still down here. Looks like he's in about 16th, 17th, maybe. And Dees, this battle for second is not over. Let's go actually back up to it right now. Dees is reeling in Edward Mora here. We'll go on board with the Detroit main event winner. White flag is in the air right now, and Quentin Dees to the inside. He gets together with Mora, and Mora is down over the berm. I can't, yeah, no, that's actually Blakely. I thought that might have been Rogers in front of Dees. So Dees ends up in second. He's trying to get around Blakely. It's all Connor Linz up front right now, though. Finally, he'll be saying, Connor Linz, the rider out of Great Britain, new versus PC factory racing machine, was expected to contend tenfold for the championship this year. It just hasn't gone his way, but finally, he's going to win his first career Race Factor Gaming 250 main event. Connor Linz is your winner tonight in Indianapolis. And Rogers has actually moved up to second, so Dees has gone backwards. And there's lappers that are totally screwing Tanner Rogers, and Dees is trying to squeak through. These lappers still not moving. Bachelet and Peavy going at it. They are not moving out of the way. They almost take Tanner Rogers down. Fortunately, Rogers squeaks by, and he will pick up second. Dees ends up in the 3 ride on the podium. Mora ends up in 4th. Callaway, a great ride, in 5th. Mitchell ends up in 6th. Medina should get 7th here, and he will. An 8th spot for Martin, a 9 for Kohenauer, and Schmidt ends up in 10th. So Schmidt only picks up 11 points tonight, which means he only has a 1-point lead on Dees in the championship. We'll take a look at the full 250 standings after the 450 main event once they are updated. But wow, oh wow, Chase Blakely able to charge his way back up to 13th. Only loses 3 points on Tyler Schmidt. So he's actually 5 back in the championship. This is still really close. Unbelievable night of racing. Congratulations to Connor Linz on his first career main event win. Look at the versus PC guys. Yeah, we'll give him some credit where credit's due. There's your podium there, right there, folks. The winner 31, middle of your screen, right side of your screen. Tanner Rogers on the 80 comes home second, and Quentin Dees on the 139 comes home in third. 250 main event podium right there at Indianapolis. Wow. Doesn't look like Schmidt or Blakely moved at all on cuts in the end of it. So now we got the 450 main event coming up, and while they get ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the 450 standings a little bit closer. Now, after last week's craziness, 12 points made up by Hunter Root to bring it within 8 points in the championship standings. Only 8 behind his teammate Tyson Fresquez. And we have got 5 rounds to go, including tonight, so this is going to get really good in these last 5 rounds between these teammates. Matt Burkeen, maybe not close enough anymore to do anything about it, but a win could change that tonight if he gets up in there. Mahan and Shipley, 4th and 5th. And we are set to go tonight here in Indianapolis. Could it be Root? Could it be Fresquez? Could it be Burkeen? Or perhaps another winner entirely? Mahan has a main event win this season. Shipley, also a main event win. Could be a good one, folks. Sit tight. We got all 20 laps live here on Star Your Systems TV. Thank you for joining us tonight, as always. And I hope you guys are about to enjoy a fantastic main event as JLV turns a 30-second board sideways. The revs are up. It's time to go racing. 450 main event from Indy. And Root hits the gate, and he's stuck, and he just finally gets going. Let's see who it's going to go to. Fresquez to the corner first. He swings wide. I don't think it's going to matter. He comes out with the whole shot and quads in. Has to check up to triple, but Fresquez on the big 2-1 comes out with the lead, and Root is buried, just going the other way on the other side of the track, way back in the pack. This is exactly what Fresquez wanted to happen. As he leads the opening lap, a little mistake actually through the bales. Here comes the 40 of Lana. Fresquez trying to shut the door, and he's going to hang on to the lead. Wow, good racing up front. Lana actually trying to get to the inside, but Fresquez still shuts the door. And we got Craig Leak sitting in 3rd. Mullins on the 9 is in 4th. This is the best ride of the year for Mullins. Haley, Crane, Sanders, and Shipley side by side over the triple, then Smith. There's Root finally. Seabold in the mix. Wheeler, Burkeen way back here. Russell Cruza, Dade Honeywell, Spencer Turley side by side with Carlin. Dooley's everywhere. I'm going to have to take some drinks. Luke Heberlein, Ryan Mahan, William St. Laurent, Tyler Lewis, and Byron down and off the back of the field in 22nd. That is the running order on the end of the first lap. Tyson Fresquez still leading the way. He is trying to run away as Lana now starting to come under a little bit of pressure here from Craig Leak on the 53 machine. This is a new and improved Craig Leak this year, it would seem. He's been riding fantastic, and he's got himself up in an early podium contention. Goes for the quad right behind Clement Lana. I like the line those guys are taking through the whoops where they jump over that second whoop off the double and just kind of casually triple into the corner. It looks fast, looks clean. And Lana makes a bobble, so there goes Leak into 2nd. Mullins trying to get him up in there. Fresquez is just getting away. Running order across the top of your screen. Looks like we've lost Hunter Root. He was right in front of Jeremy Seabolt. He's gone backwards. Still waiting for him. There he is, 13th. So we'll go back and take a look. I just saw Seabolt on the deck. So Root now right behind Jeremy Smith. It seems as though, whoa, Smith, a big bobble coming out of the corner, but he drags Race down the straightaway, hangs onto the spot. As I was saying, it seems as though Root and Fresquez are changing misfortune with each other. Root had a really, really rough race at, I believe it was Toronto. Well, he didn't race Toronto, I apologize. The race after that, Detroit, I think. Root had a really tough race, and Fresquez took the win there that night. And then Root won in San Diego, Fresquez right on his heels, but then in Santa Clara, Root won, and Fresquez struggled. Rode the struggle bus all the way home to 8th that night. Oh, as Dade Honeywell gets into Jeremy Smith. So now Root is the one who's having to come through the field while Fresquez leads the way. Burkeen in a good position right now, ahead of Root. So here it is. Fresquez leading the way. Lana back up into second. And Mullins, ooh, he's got Craig Leak right behind him, but very, very excited to see Mullins back up here and fighting. Perhaps timing-wise, as we are but 7 weeks from the opening round of Outdoors, he's just trying to get himself back prepared for Outdoors, where he's hoping to defend his national championship. Makes a couple mistakes there and loses a spot to Craig Leak. But Mullins has never really been super impressive indoors. He does have a couple wins to his name, but he was unbelievably untouchable, really, outdoors last year. He's looking to do the same this year. Question in chat is, how do you get free roam like this? Well, this is actually the camera system. If you go to Start Your Systems on YouTube, we have a cameras tutorial, and you can find out how to make these cameras yourself. It is not just installed in the game, you have to make them. And I'd like to take this opportunity to shout out Wall Lamp, who actually made part of these cameras tonight. I took his camera file, adjusted a couple of them to my liking a little bit more. But the base camera files that I'm using were from Wall Lamp, so thanks, buddy. Lap 8 of 20. It is still Fresquez leading. He's led every lap of the race. And my, oh my, does he look good. Going for number 22 tonight. Leak, Haley, and Crane in fourth. Burkeen has found his way up inside of the top 5, so Matt Burkeen putting together a nice ride. He's only about 2 straightaways behind Tyson Fresquez, so he's really not that far off the lead group. Lana has slipped back to 6, and now Hunter Root finds himself in 7th, so a good charge for Root to get back up inside of the top 10 before the halfway point. Shipley, ooh, big mistake. Good save. He's got Ryan Mahan clipping at his heels. Heberlein also in the mix. Seabolt drifted back outside of the top 10, and he's making another mistake in this rhythm. And Carlin has to go around to avoid him. Fortunately, they both stay on the bike, but they've fallen into the clutches of this Honeywell-Smith battle going on, with Mullins making a couple mistakes off the front. And again, Jeremy Smith finds himself on the ground in that corner. So now Seabolt right here on the back of Jesse Mullins. This is the fight for 11th on your screen. Number 9 and 10 on your screen. Number 11 and 12 on the track. Number 1 and 2 in your hearts. Mullins and Seabolt going at it. Interestingly enough, if only we had a number 11. Oh, Seabolt! He gives Mullins the business. We have 9, 10, and 12 on the track all in one sequence right here. Mullins, and then Carlin finds his way through, and here comes the 17 of Honeywell to the inside. Good battling back in the pack. Always like to see battling all over as Luke Heberlein loses the split fire machine from out underneath of him. Looks like that's Clement Lana, who just was stood up in the corner, and Ryan Mahan cannot avoid him, so he loses the front end of his split fire machine. Not off the bike though, so he gets going again. Oh, Shipley, whew, good save, but lost a big chunk of time there. He's all out of shape on that triple. Go ahead and do a Race Tech Top 10 rundown as Mr. Tyson Fresquez is about to click on the lap number 12. Racetech.com, get your suspension and part components there. Tyson Fresquez leads the way on the number 21 red-plated Team Volcom machine, the points leader and 2-time Supercross champion. Away from Jack Haley, who just narrowly avoids hitting his teammate Michael Wheeler. Jack Haley, the rider out of Delhi, India, on the FemMX Racetech ride in second. Craig Leak, no team apparently, on the 53 is running a great race right now in third. Really excited to see Leak up here. And then in fourth, but maybe not for long. No, still in fourth. That is St. Laurent going a lap down. Is Tyler Crane on the 16. He's in fourth on the Adept Graphics machine. Matt Burkeen On the Tagger Designs, not Pedro's free Wi-Fi, the Tagger Designs machine is running in the 5 spot. Hunter Root has found his way up to 6th on the Team Volcom, #1 defending champion. 8 points back coming into this one. Going to lose a big chunk of them right now unless he can do something more. Clement Lana finds himself in 7th on the EMC ride, the rider out of France, #40. Luke Heberlein is in 8th. The Splitfire machine, Heat #1 winner, #28. And Jeremy Shipley, the Disneyland Racing ride. Daytona Supercross winner, is in 9th. Jesse Mullins has slipped back into 10th. He's getting fought for that position with Dade Honeywell. Good battle. Honeywell trying to squeak to the inside as Mullins scrubs that double down hard. And actually Mullins, better line right there than Honeywell, able to hang on. Whoa, they have to get around downed rider there. So Mullins hangs on to the spot for right now. TBR's own Jesse Mullins is in 10th. Oh, Lana gets stood up in the bales. And, oh, Mullins gets into him. And here comes Seabolt. So that number 9 and 10 battle with the number 12 of Carlin in the mix again. These guys are just going at it this main event. This is not even for a really high points paying position there. 10th, 11th, 12th. Oh, Carlin into the side of Mullins. And Lana right off the front of this train now. So Seabolt going after Lana. Loving the look of those retro Suzukis. That's the ART Reflex Designs team coming out with those retro looking Suzukis tonight. I think it goes really well with their Thor and Bell helmet getup. Oh, Smith and Honeywell come together again in that corner. And then there's Mahan, who's having a tough night. He's about to get lapped by Tyson Fresquez on lap 15 of 20. Lana and Mullins going at it through the whoops here. Oh, Mullins a mistake. He's going to miss the finish line, and Smith is down on the whoops, and Wheels goes right into him. Fresquez is just trying to get through, tiptoeing in his Jordans, and he almost gets landed on and gets hit by Jeremy Smith. Tyson Fresquez, the race leader, is down. Where is everybody? Fresquez is still off the track and down. Jack Haley is coming through. This has changed everything. Lapper is making life a living hell, and Fresquez is going to lose the lead to Jack Haley, and Hunter Root is in 4th. Really not too far back anymore. Jack Haley is trying to break through for his first career main event win tonight, and he has got about 4 laps left to get it done, with Fresquez nipping at his heels. Man, Haley looking really good, really comfortable. Frustrating couple rounds the last few ones for Haley. He's finally putting it together tonight with a good start. And here's Burkeen and Root going at it for 3rd. Root to the inside. He got inside of the bales just a smidgen there. Fortunately, he didn't punt Burkeen in the process. And they have got a couple of lappers right behind him. This is a great battle on your screen. Burkeen probably going to be Rookie of the Year in this class, 3rd in the standings. Has a win to his credit before this season anyway. When he moved up to the 450 class while he was contending for the 250 West Championship last year, he won the 16th round of the season. Then he came through and won a round this year already as well, so he's got 2 wins to his credit. But Hunter Root is fighting for it. Oh, and Burkeen finally falters under the pressure. Big mistake puts him on the deck here. We've got 3 laps to go in Indianapolis, and Fresquez is pushing hard to win this main event, but it might behoove of him to not do that. If he just gets more points than Root tonight, that would be better. If he gets into Haley and goes down, Root could pounce and pass him for a position, which I never would have thought possible with how far Root was back off the start. But I think Fresquez, he wants to win. He knows how to win, and he's going to try to win. With 2 laps to go, he's got to drive in the whoops perhaps here. To the inside of Haley. Oh, and there's contact, and Haley's off the bike. Haley with that India lag coming into some problems there. He gets going again and still nails the triple dragons back. 2 laps to go. Couldn't quite tell from my vantage point if Tyson hit the bales or not. Perhaps caused that to get a little bit worse. So now Root's going to try to get around Haley. And really, Fresquez is not that far ahead of these guys. Yeah, not even at all, actually. He's just going the other way on the start straight, just out of the bottom of your screen. What great action here to end the night in Indianapolis. And Fresquez is about to go onto the white flag lap, the final lap of the race, in the lead. He's trying to hang on for his 22nd career win. And Haley's trying to hang on for perhaps his best career finish with a second. The win is not out of the question yet for Haley either, nor for Hunter Root. We got lappers coming back onto the track. Root's trying a different line. Look at that. Triples and then quads on. I have not seen that all week. Took the inside line, soaked it up, and then triple quad doubled. That's huge. Oh, and Haley's down. Haley's down. He's getting up across the track. He's going to try to swing around maybe and get back by Root as Fresquez is trying to win the main event. But Root has enough of a gap now, I think, to hold off Haley up front. Tyson Fresquez is going to win here tonight in Indianapolis, and Root is going to hang on for second. Unbelievable. Fresquez, your winner. Root second. 1-2 in the championship. 1-2 tonight. It was almost a 1-2-3 for the championship contenders as Haley rounds out the podium, but Burkeen takes a 4th, and Shipley ends up in the 5 spot. Wow, what a race. Crane puts onto the deck by Leak, and Leak just beats Siebold to the line by... Oh no, Siebold actually got it in 6th. Leak 7th, Mullins in 8th, Mahan 9th, and Crane comes home in 10th. Smith, a hard-fought 11th. Honeywell in 12th. Downen, from being 22nd on the opening lap, is going to end up in the 13th spot on that Monster Energy Kawasaki machine. And Luke Heberlein, after winning the heat race, all comes unraveled in the main event. Lana drifts back to 15th, yeah. Carlin 16th, Cruza 17th, Sanders in 18th, St. Laurent 19th, Turley 20th, Wheeler 21st, Tyler Lewis 22nd. We'll wait on cuts to see if perhaps Root or Haley maybe change positions. No, actually no position change in the top 3. And Leak gets Siebold on cuts. And that appears to be all the cuts. So Tyson Fresquez, your winner tonight in Indianapolis, extends his point lead up to 3 more points, so out to 11 points now, but we'll get full standings, championship standings here for you in just a moment, as the racing is now complete and the server has been shut down for the night. So we'll get results up in just a moment. Whew, what a night of racing here in Indianapolis. Congratulations to your winner, Tyson Fresquez, of the 450 main event. Just held off his teammate Hunter Root. Like to thank all the sponsors, of course, on board with Race Factory Gaming this year. MotoOption Clothing, MotoOption.com, check them out. Really great stuff over there. Always been hugely supportive of Race Factory Gaming Supercross. And, of course, Racetech Suspension, the presenting sponsor, Racetech.com. Check them out. Also, FamMX.com, hosting the Amateur National Championship, or Amateur Supercross Championship this year, I apologize. That series is presented by Tiger Designs. So hit those guys up for sure. Also, Versus-PC.com coming through with the Versus-PC.com Triple Crown this year, as well as other prizing for Supercross. They've been huge. Two-Wheeler Graphics, Moto Agogo, who host the amateur streams. All those guys on board with RaceFactoryGaming.com. Huge thanks. Could not do it without them. And thanks to all of you guys, all the fans that tune in and watch these races. So I'm going to jump out of the server. That'll stay up for you guys for a moment, but I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the standings. Let's see if they are up. They should be. Just make sure of that. Yes, they are. So let me get them both up for you guys. All right. And here we go, 450 standings on your screen now after 13 of 17 rounds in the books. And Tyson Fresquez holds a 11-point lead on his teammate Hunter Root, 254 to 243. Matt Burkeen sitting on 216. That would be 38 points back of Tyson Fresquez, so more than a race distance back. He's got to do something different if he wants to contend for this championship. Ryan Mahan still fourth, but Shipley able to close up a little bit more points on him tonight. Jack Haley in sixth. Honeywell, Smith, Robb, and Heberlein round out the top 10 in the 450 standings. We'll go ahead and take a look at the 250 standings right now. It is Tyler Schmidt heading the table by just one measly point. That's what his gap was entering tonight, and that's what the gap is leaving Quentin Deese up to 80 points and right behind Tyler Schmidt. Chase Blakely in third. He's a further 4 points behind Deese, so 5 back of Schmidt. Richards, who did not make the main event tonight, still within a fighting chance, 12 points back of Schmidt. And Connor Linz, with his first career Race Factory Gaming main event win, moves to just 16 points back. He's in a tie with Colton Mitchell for that spot right now. So that is a look at the standings. We appreciate you guys joining us here tonight live on Start Your Systems TV. We will see you guys next week for St. Louis, I believe. We're heading to St. Louis, the Edward Jones Dome. And that racing will again commence at the same time. You can catch the live stream, opening ceremonies, and commercials beginning at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, live here on Start Your Systems TV, twitch.tv/Start Your Systems. And then racing begins at 6, so join us next week. You can watch the playback on YouTube later. That'll be up tomorrow. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us tonight. For Kellen Brauer here on Start Your Systems, we're signing out. We'll see you guys next week.